I'm now going to show you fitting my new design of exhaust to the CBR 1000. Now you might wonder why I'm holding this noose here, and many people feel that workshop work is a form of torture. However, I love it myself. Here's a nifty little thing that I made to help us with the fitting, and we'll be coming back to this later. The first thing is to remove the stock exhaust, and we're going to start on the other side by removing the oxygen sensor and unbolting the clamp. So let's move over to the other side of the bike. And I've got my 4mm Allen. We're going to undo the belly pan mounting bolt. There it goes. Now we're going to remove the oxygen sensor. For that I have a 17mm wrench. Pull the plastic back. That exposes the oxygen sensor. Here is your wrench, and then just undo the sensor. Actually, I did this one earlier. Just pull it away. The second thing we need to do here is undo the clamp. I need a 12mm socket. Pull back the plastic once again, expose the clamp, crack the tension and loosen the bolt. Okay. Included in your kit is this O2 eliminator plug, and we need to replace the stock O2 sensor wiring with this plug. The stock wiring is located here under the bodywork, and simply disconnect the plug. Let me get that. There we go. And replace it with this one. Here we are back on the right hand side of the bike where we're actually going to remove the exhaust. The first thing for us to do is to remove the cable for the butterfly valve in the exhaust, and that's located under the seat. It's this under this plastic panel here. For that you're going to need a cross-headed screwdriver. Stubby one will help, because there are 3 plastic screws you need to undo first. You unscrew the head of the plastic screw, let it come out a few turns, and then simply pull it out as such. Now there are 2 more of these screws under there. There's one at the back and another one at the front, and then pull off the plastic cover starting at the front. There's a little tab, and then prise it away from the back. There we go. This exposes the servo motor and the cable. Grab the cable, pull the outer cable away from the servo motor, and then the inner cable away from the wheel, and just leave it to one side. Next step is to remove these 2 screws to release the belly pan. So you can see how useful a T-bar is for getting these out quickly. And also I have a magnetic tray to keep everything neat and tidy in the workshop. Got those out. Next up is my noose, and now you're going to see how useful this is. What we're going to do is we're going to take off the footrest plate and support it, keep it out of the way, by hooking this end over the far footrest, and this one is ready for this footrest. Now we're going to take out the muffler mounting bolt from the footrest plate. Got a 12mm wrench for the back. So once again in the magnetic tray. Now we're going to take off the footrest plate itself, undoing these 2 bolts. Got that. Just be a little bit careful that the muffler, to support the muffler as you take out the last one, because that may just rotate out. There's the last one. And finally, I get to use my noose to support the footrest out of the way. And now we can pull the muffler back, giving it a little shake. And there we go. Just one thing you need to be sure. Inside the muffler is a fiber sealing washer, and this needs to be removed with the muffler. If it stays on the header pipe, you must remove it separately. If you have this plate fitted behind the footrest, you need to remove it. There are 2 bolts. Just unscrew the bolts and remove the plate. We're now ready to fit your new TaylorMade muffler. So this end goes over the headers. So line it up with the exit pipe, slip it on, a little bit of a twist, and then push it up into position like that. What we're going to do first of all is to line up the muffler with the trim piece, and then we'll remove the trim piece and tighten up the clamps. So the first thing is return the footrest to its position and bolt it back on. Grab the trim piece. What we're going to do is slip this flange underneath the back of the stock bodywork. So pull out the bodywork, slip the flange underneath, and at the same time slip this tab behind the footrest. There we go. Now we have the bolt. The stock bolt goes back in. There we are. Tighten this up. You just tighten it up by hand to start with. And most importantly, in the kit is this trim grip. And this is to hold the bodywork in place below. And take the trim grip, and both the carbon and the stock bodywork needs to go in this groove in front of the flange. So slip it over there, and as you see, it grips the 2 pieces together. Now take the 50mm bolt included in your kit and the 7mm spacer. The bolt goes through the footrest and through the carbon, through the hole in the carbon, and then the spacer on the back of that. Keep pushing the bolt through. So we have the bolt fitted, goes through the footrest, through the carbon, through the spacer, through the strap, and through the bracket. And then we're going to put a nut on the back side of it. There's the nut on. We're going to grab a 13mm wrench, put it on the nut on the back there, and then tighten the bolt. And there we go. It's fitted. So now we've got the bolt mounted up, we just need to check the alignment of the muffler with the trim piece, and the trim piece must not touch the muffler. So if it does, you can just put a little bit of force in there to align the muffler with the trim piece. Now that we have the muffler aligned on this side, I'm going to go round to the other side and tighten the clamp between the muffler and the header. with my 10mm wrench. While you're over on the other side there tightening the muffler clamp, don't forget to replace the bodywork screw when you finished the clamp. Now we've tightened the muffler to the headers, and I've grabbed a 10mm wrench here, and we're going to tighten the clamp for the cone muffler to the primary muffler. And you can slip the wrench down behind the trim piece and tighten the clamp. There we are. Had a few turns to go, but now it's snug. And we just check one more time that the trim piece is not touching the cone muffler. Now the last thing that we're going to do is to replace the two bodywork screws here and here. Actually, this one is already in, needs tightening, and we need to put the front one in. Go into there. You want to be careful when you do these not to over tighten this front one, because it just sits in a rubber grommet. So that's that one. And then tighten this bolt. Actually, that's not the last thing we're going to do. I'm going to show you a little trick with the trim grip. Grab a pair of pliers and come to the trim grip. You can just pinch the ends, and that will just make it secure on there. And there you go. What do you think? Your very own MotoGP bike. Thank you very much.